And it is 5:01 p.m. Is there a motion to move into executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, extra staff, please leave. Good evening. I'd like to call to order this first public hearing of the Cave Creek Unified School District's 2026-27 instructional time model. Today is August 11th, 2026, and it is 6:05 p.m. Item 2.2, public comments. The public hearing is held to receive comments from the public on this 2026-27 time model. Are there any public comments? Okay. Item 2.3, is there a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, I'd like to call to order this business meeting of the Cave Creek Unified School District, and it is still August 11th. Item 3.2, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3.3, roll call. All members of the board are present. Myself, Vice President Moore, Member Fortney, and Member Walker. Cabinet members present are Dr. Regan and Mr. Wheeler. Item 3.4, formal adoption of the agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I would like to change the 3.5 president's comments to after board comments. Any other changes? Okay, all in favor of the amended agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so item 3.6, board comments. Who wants to start?
All right. It's been a good start to the school year, even with our few hiccups. I just want to commend Cactus Shadow's leadership team for just their great communication that they've had through all those hiccups, and also Sonoran Trails. Looking forward to curriculum night tomorrow night at Sonoran Trails. Other than that, best of luck to all the athletes doing tryouts this week as well. It's a busy time of school year.
Just welcome back to the 26-27 school year. Welcome to all the new teachers that are starting their careers here or continuing them here in Cave Creek. And we're looking forward to a really good year this year. So thanks for everything.
I'm going to echo a lot of that. I had a chance to attend the Cactus Shadows Welcome Back and Curriculum Night. And I got to say the energy and excitement around this new leadership from the students, the staff, and the parents, definitely a good way to start off the year. And I think the communication coming out of there with some of the challenges that have been going on has been stellar, and a lot of happy parents, even though it's been a little bit challenging. While I wasn't able to attend the Welcome Back for teachers, give a shout out to my two daughters. They were, so it was kind of cool to see them welcome back the staff for the new year. Meant a lot to me as a parent and as a board member. And kind of want to close with, with the fact that we're heading to the election season. I've heard commentary in the community about public schools, school closures across Arizona, school district finances, and questions about the dollars and where they're going. There's a real misconception out there that our community's property tax dollars flow directly into this district, and I think it's important to say that that is incorrect. Property tax dollars from residents inside our district boundaries go down to Phoenix and help make other districts' budgets whole. Meanwhile, if CCUSD falls short of its budget, we receive nothing to offset that gap. No one makes us whole. So at the end of the day, in this era of school choice, every family that chooses CCUSD is truly funding this district. The reality is typical public school funding and finance models are fundamentally flawed and need to be addressed. While charter and private schools can operate their finances more freely like a business, and we make a lot of references to school and business, they truly can operate that way. I think every conversation about our district's future needs to start with that understanding, not the misconceptions that we hear frequently.
For my president's comments, I did attend the teacher welcome back, and so welcome to a lot of new teachers. We have a few that had left previously, and they're back, so welcome to them, and welcome to all the staff. And I was at all of the curriculum nights, first night back for all of our schools. Energy is incredible, the enthusiasm. It's great. It's something great to build on, and so welcome and looking forward to a great year. Now, y'all wondering why we're standing here, because we're tired of sitting. As you know, we just wrapped up the first week of school, and tonight we're starting something that we've never done before. It's a new school year, so we got a new habit. And with this being week 2 of the school year, we've already had stories rolling in about the staff member who stayed late, so a student had what they needed, employee who solves problems that nobody knew about. Most of us will never even know there was a problem that an employee quietly solved. The person who shows up early, left late, and did more than a job description technically required. And they did it just because it was the right thing to do. And this happens a lot in this district. It always has. In classrooms, on buses, in front offices, in the kitchen, on custodial crews, in maintenance shops. It turns out actually quietly saving the day is basically a district-wide hobby. For years, that good effort got noticed quietly. There might have been a quiet thank you from a supervisor or maybe a nice email. But this board has never stood up in public and said thank you by name to some of our unsung heroes. And tonight, that's going to change. We say we're a family district, but words are cheap unless we back them up. So starting tonight, this board is setting aside some time every single month to publicly recognize the people living that out. Our superintendent, Dr. Regan, is close to the ground in our schools and departments, and she'll help us make these stories come out and reach everybody. However these stories get to us, our job is simple. We want to notice you. We want to say thank you loudly and proudly because you deserve it. But be advised, with the energy that our staff has, we could probably fill up an entire board meeting with saying thank you to the unsung heroes in this district. So it will be a bit of a challenge for us to pick the over and above ones, but our intent is to recognize those who have really made a huge difference. Tonight, we're starting with a few people who in the very first week of school ran straight into real problems, the kind that could have knocked the entire year out of balance. And instead of panicking, they just fixed it. No drama, no fanfare. So, well, let me tell you about these people. We've got Linda. Come on up here. And along with Linda, there's Mark, Matt, and Sydney from our
probably they're still working on problems that we ran into today. So,
yes.
So Linda is representing them as well.
Thank you. They are from transportation and maintenance. And in every school district, there are people who stand in the spotlight, and there are those who work quietly behind the scenes to make sure the spotlight can shine. These 4 individuals are some of our local heroes. Every morning, our buses need to be ready, and our routes need to run safely and efficiently. Our schools and facilities need to be clean, operational, and ready to welcome students and staff. When something goes wrong, and in a school district, something inevitably does go wrong, there needs to be someone willing to step up, find a solution, and simply say, we'll figure it out. That is the spirit embodied by Linda, Matt, Mark, and Sydney. They demonstrated an incredible can-do attitude, a willingness to go the extra mile, and most importantly, a genuine care for Cave Creek schools. Their work may not always be visible to everyone, but it is absolutely essential to the success of our district. And this year, we want to give special recognition to Linda. Linda has taken on an expanded role, moving from Director of Transportation to Director of Transportation and Maintenance. That's a significant responsibility, and she has embraced it with tremendous commitment, energy, and professionalism. And since you are the representative of the four, this is from the board for you guys. Thank you for all you do. In the middle.
I was going to say, can you hear? All right.
Nice.
All right, and that concludes my report.
That's nice.
All right, item 3.7, Superintendent's Report.
Well, President Busby, that's hard to follow, but thank you for that kind recognition. They have worked extremely hard, and I'm going to be in sync of what all of you have responded to in regards to our second week of school. So as we enter our second week of the 26-27 school year, I want to begin by sharing what a genuine honor it has been to visit classrooms, campuses, and departments across our district. I've had the opportunity to see firsthand the excellence in our district taking place every day in our schools, and equally important to experience the warmth and welcoming spirit of our staff, students, and families. The professionalism that you mentioned, the dedication, and just the pure heart of our employees are truly what have made this school year such a successful launch. There is an unmistakable sense of pride in Cave Creek Unified School District, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. While a strong opening to the school year does not come without challenges, I've been incredibly impressed by how our teams have responded when issues arise. Whether addressing transportation logistics or HVAC control and software challenges, or the many unexpected details that accompany the opening of school, our employees have consistently approached these situations with solution-oriented mindset. Rather than focusing on the problem, they're focusing on finding the answer, and most importantly, ensuring that our students and staff are cared for. That spirit of collaboration and problem solving that you've mentioned is an important part of who we are to a district. During our Welcome Back kickoff, I had the opportunity to share what I described as an outsider's perspective on the Cave Creek Unified School District. As I've visited our schools and learned more, that perspective has only strengthened my appreciation for the exceptional work of our principals, teachers, support staff, and district leaders. Our theme this year is leading forward, and our students are demonstrating that means through the accomplishments and the support of our staff. So I just want to brag a little bit about our wonderful students now. Some of the outstanding academic results we were celebrating at the kickoff was 100% diploma pass rate from our IB students compared to the 84% global pass rate, 100% of our pre-calculus AP students, and 97.6% of our calculus AP students earned a score of 3 or higher on this year's AP examinations. Our students performed above the state average in grades 3 through 8 in both the English language arts and mathematics on our state assessment. And then our students performed above the state average in our Arizona Science State Assessment in grades 5 through 8 and grade 11. And then lastly, our students have achieved ACT scores, both state and national, above averages in every category. So these results don't happen by accident. They're a result of talented educators, dedicated support staff, strong leadership, engaged families, and students who are challenged and encouraged to reach their potential. And so these accomplishments are worth celebrating, not simply because they're relating to strong scores, but because they represent the collective work of an entire school district committed to excellence. I want to publicly recognize our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. David Wheeler, for his leadership and persistence in navigating the complex financial challenges facing our district. David, you've approached these challenges with a clear vision, but for identifying solutions, strengthening our financial position, and pursuing sustainable revenue opportunities so our students can continue to receive high-quality educational experiences they deserve. We are looking ahead, as Dan has mentioned, on some financial difficult decisions, and they really do have very real impact on people. And so that responsible fiscal stewardship we will be challenged on, but I know that we have the right people in place to move forward with that. So as I reflect on these first 2 weeks, I'm encouraged, not because everything's been perfect, but because I've witnessed a district that responds to challenges with professionalism, optimism, and a commitment to one another. And that concludes my report.
Awesome. Thank you. Item 4.1, the 2026-27 instructional time model. That is, you've got the floor.
Yeah.
Good evening, President Greer, Vice President Moore, members Walker and Courtney, Superintendent Regan. I'm Emily Hill. I'm the Director of Data and Assessment, and it is time for our annual review of the instructional time model. So,
Oh,
I can click away.
yeah.
It's only 3 slides, so it should
Yeah.
be quick. What is the instructional time model? We've been through this annually. It is passed by House Bill 2862 and signed by the governor soon after COVID, and it provides an opportunity for us to allow instructional time models that have to be introduced at one public hearing, and they're at another public hearing where they are voted upon, and then it's put into place. The premise is that it presumes that learning can take place outside of the classroom. Your flexibility to include remote learning and to be counted for funding. This would include specific days. The one that we're most familiar with is at the high school when we have the Spire and ACT testing. Our 9th and 11th graders come in person to take the test, and our 10th and 12th graders do asynchronous learning at home. It also allows our EVIT students who attend for 3 classes, take one online so that they can make that long drive out there to attend a virtual class online as well. It also would give us the opportunity on staff development days, PLC days throughout the school year to flip the classrooms or allow our teachers to teach from home and our students to learn from home should those needs arise. And then it can also be used for such emergency situations such as weather, chillers going out, loss of internet, which you may be hearing about later. So that is usually why we institute the instructional time model. In working with Vicki Fisher-Boone, who's our SIS network engineer, there's very strict attendance and reporting guidelines, so we try to adhere to those and use it not as often as we could. Required components, that means that our students must have remote or virtual access. It has to be project-based learning, it has to be tied to our state standards as well as ideally what they're learning in the classroom right then. Teachers and students would be on the same schedule, or they can work asynchronously so that they can complete the mastery of those. Students will also be given assignments that will be coded, so it's not an opportunity for us to load down our students with more work, but rather what are thoughtful activities that they can complete at home with the resources that they have there. And then again, like I mentioned, attendance is very strictly documented in our schools, and students who attend and complete the virtual classes get credit for that. Told you it was great.
All right.
Questions about the instructional time model?
Anybody? No? Thank you.
You are welcome.
Awesome. All right, item 4.2, the monthly financial update. Mr. Wheeler.
Okay. Thank you, President Greer and board members. This discussion will be a little eye-opening, but it's meant to kind of tell us the state of the union for our school district right now. So just from a perspective of history, over the last 3 years, we've seen some pretty significant enrollment declines. If you go back to the 24-25 school year, we're a little around 3,800. We lost approximately 400 more in 25 and 26, and we're setting ourselves up for a similar decrease right now, another 400. And a good bit of that we're seeing go from the 8th grade into 9th grade. And a lot of those losses are pretty much are primarily going to our neighboring school district, which would be Paradise Valley. And approximately about 140 of those kids were moving, or at least a majority, about 140 were moving. Majority of those were going to Paradise Valley. So that's at least our initial take on that. So we do have some issues to work through as to why that's happening, and I think some of that has to do with just the turmoil that happened last year within the school district. And we're in a recovery mode, as you know, and as Dr. Regan has pointed out, we're leading forward, and we're also trying to. We're a smaller district. We're trying to get back to our roots and really get back to the community and reach out to them. So those are some of the highlights that we're doing. Just some more talk about the actual enrollment. Of course, this is through last Friday, but you can see where we're at, and really some of the significant areas are at the middle school. If you look there, that's feeding into our high school. We're at 237, 272, 227. That's significantly less than what we have today going in the high school, so those are some areas we need to look at. And as you can see, our high school enrollment is going down, and we've actually this year, even though we're at 307, we were much higher last year. So those are some key areas to keep in mind. Any questions from the board as far as the slide and where we're at?
Would it be possible, just in maybe a board update at the end of the week, get per grade level, just for the middle school and high school, what those losses were?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we have those. I just did more of a roll-up.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have
Yeah,
that.
perfect.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we put that out every day, so.
Thank you.
That's an easy ask. Sure.
Do we think we can get any pickup between now and the 100th day? I mean, because right now, what are we trending at? Like potentially 2976?
Yeah. If you look at what history has told us, it's going down. We don't typically pick up in that time frame. So realistically, I think that would be difficult. Just looking at the trends that are out there, Dan. So I think that's going to be a difficult trend come January when we have that 100th day. So.
Okay.
With that, I want to talk a little bit about our budget. This budget is based on what was submitted for in the June timeframe for July. So these numbers reflect the previous enrollment numbers, if you will, and the ADM. So even though we're showing, based on what was submitted to the Department of Education, including our control limits, and I know you've mentioned it, Dan, in regards to if we weren't subject to some of these district limits or the revenue control limits, we would be significantly higher than this based on our tax base.
Right.
But right now, we're looking at about a $2 million deficit for this year, and it's higher than that if we were not using our carry forward, which we're still working through. But that gives you an idea. Right now, we're looking at about $2 million. If you don't include the carry forward and some of our other expenses that are not reflected this month, we're probably close to $3 million. But we're going to use some of our carry forward, which is unfortunate because it's always good to have that buffer in there for times like this. Also, our classroom site fund, we're pretty close on that, and we're going to use some of our carry forwards, and we will be able to, at this point in time, have a carry forward going into next year. So that's good news. And then our DAA, or unrestricted capital fund, we're even though we're showing a positive right now, we are going into our carry forward, and as most of you know, we've had some unfortunate events in the last couple of weeks, mainly with our air conditioning units and our transformers and other things that we're going to go through that. Of course, we will work extremely hard with the facilities board, the SFB, or SFD, the facilities district now, to see if we can recoup some of that. But in the meantime, we've got to keep the schools running, and that's going to Linda. That's why we didn't have some of her other teammates here, because they're still working as we speak on the transformer issue. So, which is too bad, but that's but it's more important for them to be working on that right now. So, what does this mean? We are going to have to do a revised budget in September. That's a given. And then that'll reflect our reduced enrollment. And then we'll have some new numbers. And just for the benefit, the number that I'm showing right now, we've already cut $2 million out of the current budget. So it would have been close to $4 or $5 million without those cuts. So I just want to stress we're doing all the right things to save money and to look for revenue streams. And again, that goes back to our roots. We're re-engaging with the community. We're re-engaging with grants. We're re-engaging, especially with some of our local sponsors out there, like Kiwanis, who have just been. I can't say enough about our Kiwanis Club. They really are a godsend. So of course we got austerity and revenue goes out there. One item that we need to mention is on November 3rd, we do have an election item for putting up for sale our Desert Sun Academy. And we trust that our voters appreciate that, and we're also doing campaigns to educate our constituents to, if we don't sell that property, if they don't approve the sale of that property, we're going to be in even a deeper hole. So we really need to sell that property to help us out. Again, that'll offset our deficit, and if our folks down at the county can help us use some of the, if we do sell it, use some of that capital money for our M&O, that would be great. So with that, any questions?
Yeah, so on the, if we're looking at the percentage of carry forward, are we same as we did last year, more or less? Because, I mean, obviously we're already trimming down pre-you on
Right.
getting to a better place with our carry forward. Are we continuing to head that path, or are we creeping back up again?
No, we're actually in a reduction on that because of our ADM reduction.
Okay.
We do have a pretty good CS classroom site fund. We're not, like I said, I don't believe we'll use all of that. So overall we are reducing it. Are we replenishing it at where we were at before? No, we're not. Our capital, I was a little more optimistic until today happened, but but we've got some things to worry about or to work on there. The replenishment of those carry forwards is not what it used to be, and it's very simple. It has to do with our reduced enrollment. We just can't get there. Okay.
And then do you think if we head into August 14th as you head into September, where do you think the deficit balance is going to fall?
I'm not I'm more concerned about M&O than anything, as you can imagine. So we'll have better numbers by then. We'll also know what our enrollment is. I think we're going to hold pretty close to this, but it still remains to be seen because we still have some encumbrances that we're working through, and working through to see if some of those encumbrances can go away with more reductions. So I'm not done yet. We need to do some more work on those encumbrances out there and try to reduce them.
I always like to use this time just to inform the community of whoever's actually logs in and listens to these when it comes to the budget, that the way you said our amount of tax dollars that we bring in, but due to state equalization, all get sent down there. And so the only amount we get is price per student, which is significantly less than, let's say, a charter school next door, just because they can, for a public school district, for their budget to run successfully, we'll say that, or balance, it's set up that we have to have a bond or override in place, which is an added tax. And the reason why a charter school will get much more funding price per head than we do as a public school district.
Yes.
On the other side, then we get a transformer down, the fuel needs to be redone, a chiller needs to be replaced. Technically, those things should go to SFD,
Yes.
but you have a transformer that's 34 years old, and since I've been on the board, I haven't seen any of our large ticket items ever get covered by SFD, which just continues to make you cash poor.
Yeah.
Correct? Because we don't have a bond or
Especially-
override.
Yeah, especially, well, it's more in our capital fund, but yes, our unrestricted capital account should be much higher.
Yeah.
But we're having to absorb a lot of the infrastructure that is not supported by SFD.
That's it for me.
And then my final slide here. Of course, a little bit on our infrastructure. And as you met Linda, she's graciously taken over for our facilities and keeping our transportation group running extremely smooth. We've had 3 directors over the past 5 years. A lot of the institutional knowledge that was here over that time and even before that has left the district, and we're doing our best to basically jump on that learning curve. And again, part of our austerity and reducing costs and reducing overhead, we combined that director, so we've eliminated that director. We've overall eliminated 3 director positions in the district so far. We're not done yet, so there's more to come to help us offset the numbers that you've seen. Again, as part of your packet, I encourage you to approve the new position for Linda, which is there. This slide was put together before we had the issues that happened today, but just a little, and I won't dwell on this too long, but it just has to do with the institutional knowledge that has left the district because of all the turn in the facilities director. For the most part, a lot of the problems that we saw were control issues, not mechanical issues. And that means we got to have access to the software. We got to have access to the PLCs. We got to have access to look at all of the controls to understand when we're having a bad day at a particular room. We can control it at the room level. We can override it. And that's our learnings over the last week. We would call out an HVAC contractor, and we were blind as to was it systems or was it mechanical, and we ended up expending a lot of time on that. We learned extensively over the last week. We know to look at the controls first because many of those were there, and then, for instance, at the high school, we just to bear with me here, at 4 o'clock we turn everything off and it goes to 85 degrees, okay? And we turn it on at 6 a.m. But if there are not kids or people in the room, that won't even start at 6 a.m. because there's no movement in the motion detectors. And the time students and teachers roll into those rooms, it's too late to catch up with the air conditioning. It's already too hot in there. So, of course, our learnings, we're going in, early and or either just overriding it and say we're going to keep it low so that when kids come in, it's cold, but then you get all the bodies in there, then it'll warm up, just to keep us from having to send kids home early, which we had to do, and to move kids from warm rooms to cold rooms, et cetera. And you heard a little bit about that, about the phenomenal job that our high school's principal has done and her staff in moving all that around. Again, that is part of that institutional knowledge. Some of the other directors, facilities directors, were on the phone with Verigy, which is the control software, before we even started school, and the day of lowering all those controls. We had no clue. We had no knowledge transfer from those previous directors that we needed to do that to avoid some of our problems. We did have some mechanical problems, but a lot of those we've fixed. Those seem to be easy, but again, we've done. I think the district has done a fabulous job of trying to move to pivot during these these rough times. And then today, of course, with the transformer going out, we're again all hands on deck, and Linda's crew has done a phenomenal job, and we now know what happened. And the good news is I wasn't able to debrief you, Dr. Regan, but it doesn't look like we're going to need a new transformer, which is multiple six figures. We think we'll be able to repair it, and we've got some things in the works to get that going tomorrow. But it's a shame that we're in this position, and but again, you have the right people working on it, board members. I feel like we've got an A team that's doing what we can and keeping the district going. So with that, that's all I have for the financial update. Any questions from the board?
One question I have, because Linda is amazing. I spent time with her in transportation last year. If you're giving her these dual roles, are you guys equipping her with the support mechanisms? Because, she will answer the phone. She will drive a bus. I know you.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
So we have amazing staff, but we got to make sure that we're allowing them to focus on the appropriate things. So
well, and we got to be aware of burnout as well.
The list is long, my friend.
Yes. Mm-hmm. This week, if we wouldn't have had our problems, we actually had, so that we could focus, especially on SFD.
D.
I think of them as SFB because they've changed. Then they were SFOB. They've gone through so many name changes. It's confusing.
Generally, it's SF no money.
Yeah, right. Dr. Reagan made it possible for Linda to work exclusively this week on SFB. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that because of the transformer problems. But we're cognizant of what you're saying, Dan, and we need to get focused on that, getting that institutional knowledge back, and also being able to anticipate some of those problems. We're not there yet. We got a lot to do because, like I said, a lot of the institutional knowledge left over the last three directors. So we're doing what we can, but if we're in a bind, yes, we definitely want her driving, and I even took certification for a 14-passenger bus, and I will drive out to EVIT if needed, or drive. Like I said, everybody is stepping up in the district. I'm just giving you some examples, but you see it in a lot of areas. But like I said, we'll do whatever it takes to keep things going, and Linda's team is a great example of that. So.
Thank you, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
No, just a reminder that there are a lot of situations that we can't handle because they do come up like this, but there are other things that we can work on as a community and a district. Just to remind everybody that we are the only unified school district in Maricopa County without a bond or an override in place. That has a big impact on what we're talking about here today. So we're losing students to districts that are paying our teachers more or providing programs that we can't. And we are stuck with some of these issues and having to try and scramble. If we really want to support this district, I hope that people will keep that in mind when we come around and have to start talking about bonds and overrides again, because we won't be able to do it without it. So, just a comment.
Well said. Thank you, Mr. Wheeler. Appreciate the update. Item 5, action consent. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item 6.1, call to the public. We have none. Okay. Where are we? Item 8.1, new business. The ASBA proposed political agenda and delegate assembly packet. The governing board is to discuss and may consider actions to approve the Arizona School Board Association's draft 2027 political agenda and direct the district's delegate to the ASBA Delegate Assembly to represent the board's determined position. And do we have any instructions for Mr. Fortney? So is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second? Okay. Anything that we need to add to this? Nope.
Are we getting anywhere with that tax donation credit?
It's in there again.
That's the only thing that matters, right?
Yeah, there's,
Oh, the
No.
public school tax is a million times higher than public school tax credit. It's lovely.
yeah, we
That's why I like that tax credit.
we did put that in last year. Needless to say, it's in there again this year because nothing happened with it. This is my 6th year doing this, and I've seen a lot of these things year after year after year. You try to say what you can up here without trying to get like political or anything like that, but sometimes things are like that. Simply put, we are in the situation that we're in, not just as our district, but in this state, because of the way public education is being treated here by our legislature. And if we can't get them to treat public education as well or better than they are these private educations, we're going to continue to be struggling. Districts should not have to be forced to go out for bonds and overrides. That should just be able to do the money. We should not be having to say adequately and equitably fund district schools to the national median per pupil funding year after year after year after year after year. It should just be done, but it's not being done, and there's a reason it's not being done. So we'll go there. We'll try and fight for these things again, but if there's anything else that you need added, we'll be happy to add them, but we'll definitely do these again.
I think even fully fund special education seems to be one that comes up every year, and
Yeah, that'll be tough because that comes from federal, and the federal budget for IDEA was cut significantly
half.
this year. That doesn't matter to the families that have special education kids. They still have their needs, and we still have to provide their needs. So if we can't do it with the IDEA money, guess where that comes from? It comes from other places in our budget. So there's a lot of things we need to work on. So we'll get to work.
Okay.
And then for those that are paying attention, the tax donation credit for public school is $200, $400. For private school, it's north of $2,500.
Yeah.
So
we've been stuck at that, I think, over 10 years.
we're out of whack on how
Private
that works.
school gets a little bit of increase every year, along with the voucher program. It's fun.
Yeah, it needs to be a level playing field.
Yeah.
Compete. I'm all for competition.
Yes.
So this will be Wednesday, September 9th. So
You'll have a full report for us then.
we'll see what we got to come back with.
Okay, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item 8.2, resolution for for provision of food and beverages. Dr. Regan, this is you.
This is the new policy that, is it the update with the, right there?
Yes,
Yeah, USFR.
You're gonna give it to me, I got it.
I gave it to you.
Thank you. Okay. This one, where there's a few updates that are going on, but a board policy to identify the activities where food and beverages may be provided. So just an update in the allowable funding sources with that through the trust.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Second?
Is there any question?
I mean, it was pretty straightforward.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 8.3, action on instructions given to the district's attorney in executive session and authorization for superintendent and district attorney to continue to negotiate with the East Valley Institute of Technology on the terms of an agreement. Is there a motion to approve the instructions that we gave to our attorney in exec session and authorize Dr. Regan and our attorney to continue to negotiate with EVIT?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
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 All right. Item 9, upcoming calendar events. That's you.
Thank you. Upcoming calendar events, August 13th. So we have at Sonoran Trails Middle School Curriculum Night from 5 to 7 p.m. August 25th, Governing Board Work Study Meeting at 6 p.m. And September 7th is a Labor Day holiday. Schools and offices are closed.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Item 10, adjournment. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we are adjourned, and it is 6:52.